Thawadi Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Thawadi Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Thawadi Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Rakakutash, Brakathum. Peace and blessings to the Hope for the Elect, 144 and the rest of 1/3. Shalom, Shalom. Peace and blessings to the Hope for the Elect, 144 and the rest of 1/3. Shalom, Shalom. And to all my apostles, elders, and bishops, Shalom, Shalom, my GMS. All my apostles, elders, and bishops, Shalom, Shalom, my GMS. And all to the Malaki and my GMS, Shalom. You know what I'm saying? Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. Oh yeah, Edom, you are going down. And you're constantly going down. Oh yeah. We know who you are, devil. We know who you are. And your time is up, boy. Your time is up. Oh yeah.
He ain't trying to go too far from home. And said Isaac loved Esau because he did eat of his venison, and Rebekah loved Jacob. And you know, black men, they love their mamas. But Esau was all about his forefathers. Right? You can tell who's the Edomites.
Look at them rednecks.
They call them rednecks.
Oh yeah.
This nickname was first used in the 19th century to describe white rural Americans who had settled in the southeastern states stretching from the Atlantic coast to Texas.
Bunch of mutton dogs.
This vast area has a population of 126 million. It is strongly Republican, and many people here are enthusiastic supporters of presidential candidate Trump.
There's something in the air, hopefully a big change coming in the wokeness and stupid stuff that people are doing right now across all the major cities.
These conservatives believe that Trump represents their best hope of preserving their evangelical Christian way of life. Jesus made a weapon. That's why we believe in the Second Amendment, all right? The Second Amendment protects the American citizens' right to bear arms. For these rednecks, it is fundamental to their constitutional freedom. If it goes down, I've got something to protect myself, my family, my friends around.
I'm going to read the book of Genesis 36 and 8. And it reads, "Thus dwelt Esau in Mount Seir." Esau is Edom. Esau is Edom. These are the Edomites, the descendant of Esau, Edom, of Esau. And they became the Idumeans, right? And who else they became? They became the Romans. They became who else? The Americans, the British, the French, the Spaniards, the Dutch, the Germans, right? Now who are they right now? They're the Americans in Babylon the Great. These red-bodied devils, right? With that vile spirit, with that wicked spirit, right? This is Genesis 27 and 38. It says, "And Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing? My father blessed me, and even me also, my father." And Esau lifted up his voice and wept, right? And what's another thing? These Edomites are always crying, right? They're always crying and complaining. Even when things is good for them, they still crying and complaining. And says, "And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth." Right? That's why the earth has been given over to their wicked hands, right? Because it was a promise that they would rule. And it says, "And of the dew of heaven from above, and by thy sword," and by what? "And by thy sword shalt thou live." Right? And it says, and shalt serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have dominion, thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessings wherewith his father, were the blessings wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, "The days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob." Right? Why you think Esau got all them guns? Right? Why you think Esau preparing with all that artillery, with all that training in the woods, teaching their little kids to shoot at targets? Right? They talking about when this evil that's coming, right? They know what evil's coming. It's called retribution. It's called recompense. Right? For all the evil things that these Edomites have done, it's going to be done right back unto them, and they know that's coming. So they're preparing for that time. They're preparing for that time, and they think, you see, they know they can't depend on no JC. They think DJT is going to help them. They stopped calling on JC. You see, the first thing he went to was what his Second Amendment is, his gun rights, right? Because why? That was a blessing given to him. Let me read that again. This is Genesis 27:40. It says, "And by thy sword shalt thou live." How do these devils make they living? How did they conquer the world? By their sword. By their sword. Right? Especially after they got the Gatling gun. What's the sword they were given now? It says that great sword, which is the nuclear capability. Right? This is the harbinger. This man is the death angel. Right? Let's get this. It says, "And by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck." Right? And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessings wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, "The days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob." And that's what he's getting ready to do. He's getting ready to kill his brother Jacob. You Negroes, you Hispanics, you Native Americans.
Supporters of presidential candidate Trump.
There's something in the air. Hopefully a big change coming in the wokeness and stupid stuff that people are doing right now across all the major cities.
These conservatives believe that Trump represents their best hope of preserving their evangelical Christian way of life.
Jesus made a weapon. That's why we believe in the Second Amendment, all right?
The Second Amendment protects the American citizen.
You just heard the devil lie to these people, man. And he said the Lord told him, gave him some pistols. Right? This is Matthew 26:52. It says, "Then Yahushua said unto him, Put up again thy sword into his place. For all they that take the sword shall perish with the sword." Right? They have a saying, you live by the sword, die by the sword. Right? And guess how the Esau gonna die? He gonna die by that great sword. That great sword the Lord done gave over to his wicked ass. This is the book of Revelation 6:4. It reads, "And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth." When Esau got into power, what happened? Peace was taken from the earth. What did they do? They went into everybody's lands, everybody's home. That's how they took over the earth, through their violence, through the blessing of what the sword, it says. "And there went out another horse that was red, Esau, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword." A great sword. What's that great sword? That nuclear capability. That's his last and final thing that he's going to be able to use, really, to destroy himself.
Christian way of life.
Jesus made a weapon. That's why we believe in the Second Amendment, all right?
The Second Amendment protects the American citizens' right to bear arms. For these rednecks, it is fundamental to their constitutional freedom.
It goes down. I've got something to protect myself, my family, and my friends around me.
And once a year, this staunchly conservative area welcomes the craziest redneck festival in the country. We filmed across rural America in search of the famous rednecks. People who love their trucks and every kind of excess.
This is like the Super Bowl of redneck events. Okay, you don't get no better than this. Titties and beer.
America's economic success has passed them by, and millions of them are struggling. In Kentucky, the opioid crisis is wreaking havoc.
I can guarantee you that there's an overdose happening right now as we speak.
Good.
Somebody's dying right now because of this disease.
Against the backdrop of these shattered lives, a patriotic new genre of music is becoming popular among rural.
Somebody's dying right now because of this disease.
Good.
I'm reading the book of Job 30, verse 8. It reads, "They were children of fools, yea, children of base men. They were viler than the earth." Right? It says vile, extremely unpleasant. Extremely unpleasant. Right? You see them redneck hoes. And bitches they look terrible. They look like dope addicts, dope fiends. right? And when you see the new age black culture, it look like it's mimicking these low life redneck motherfuckers. Right, Jake, you look like the basis of men right now because you don't mimic these rednecks, man. Right, all about your cars, your trucks, your women is strippers and hoes. Right, your whole society's about drugs and guns and bullshit. Right, it says that's how Jake is looking because you followed after who these Edomites. Right, it says they were children of fools, they children of base men. They were violent in the earth. Right, unpleasant. You can tell these Edomites is unpleasant. Matter of fact, let's go back. But now this song, Job 30:1. But now they that are younger than I have me in derision, whose fathers I would have disdained to have set with the dogs of my flock. Yea, whereto might the strength of their hands profit me, in whom old age was perished. It says, for want and famine they were solitary, fleeing into the wilderness in former times, desolate and waste. Who cut up mallows by the bushes and juniper roots for their meat. Right, they were driven forth from among men. They cried after them as after a thief. Right, they got chased into the caves of the Caucasus Mountains. Right, they got chased out of different cities, different nations. Right, because everybody realized, man, this is the devil. This is the devil. Right, it says to dwell in the cliffs, in the valleys, in the caves of the earth. In the rocks, right? These are only people who care about that cave shit. These only people who love talking. You got what is that? In Afghanistan, they be in the caves, but they ain't talking about no caveman. Esau talking about a caveman where sensibility, thoughts, speech, all that was gone. Right? It says to dwell in the clefts of the valleys and the caves of the earth and in the rocks. That was a curse the Lord threw on Edom. Among the bushes they brayed, right? They had no speech. Under the nettles they were gathered together. They were children of fools, yea, children of base men. They were viler than the earth.
It's not gonna work. Thank you. Okay, I'm Matt Cross. There you go. Nice to meet you. Yeah, how is it out here?
It's the hills. Love it. You got any hunting drum bills? That's it.
Squirrels playing and stuff, cats playing with squirrels, coons.
It's crazy. It's pretty easy. When nature's something else, you know what I mean? It's really.
What do people do for fun out here?
Horseshoes,
Cook out,
ride hills.
We cook out, on the way trails.
Oh, that's awesome.
Stop. Pull a place out, throw charcoal in, and have something to eat, clean up the place, and go on. Just off the road, not bother nobody, and don't know what to bother us.
Animals.
And they don't.
Animals.
They don't do it twice.
Yeah. Bother you once, don't bother you.
Yeah, that's right.
Is there a lot of I don't know, people say in Williamson and Kermit, they're saying that there's a lot of people get high and they kind of act like fools and stuff like that sometimes.
No. Used to be.
Used to be, but trying to be now don't have
There's
it.
a lot of dry cleanup laws around here lately,
Oh, yeah.
They mean go heads or retards or special needs people, So a lot of them's in jail now, so let's write it up,
So what was it like before?
People running down the road naked, hollering and stuff, man, trying to flag you down. They don't remember nothing. I'm for real. All chasing down the road. It's crazy, all back.
How long ago?
About a year ago.
Not recently.
Yeah.
If we were standing here and some naked guy came running up here, that would be. He would make it work. Are there police out here?
Oh, God, yeah.
There are police.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We take care of it.
We'll order police as far as that.
We just call a law if we call a law.
Let's call him, get a body, pretty much, or get somebody.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, God, yeah.
There are police.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We take care of it.
We'll order police as far as that.
We just call a law if we call a law.
Let's call him, get a body, pretty much, or get somebody.
It's hard to be.
But we try to take care of ourselves.
Yeah, law takes so long to get here, so you gotta do it yourself. That's right. Yeah.
But we try to take care of ourselves.
Yeah, law takes so long to get here, so you gotta do it yourself. That's right. Yeah. So all of us, so it don't matter. When we come to this holiday, it don't matter. How much city you want to walk out? We carry it out. We got kids.
And here we are in 2026. The devil still can't talk. Still can't speak, right? And one thing they do is lie. They lie, man. There ain't no area you want to get caught in one of these redneck areas, man. These devils, they ain't playing, man. Them hill have eyes, ass crackers, right? Them redneck ass crackers, right? Pull up on you with a truck. Talking about, hey, we'll help you. Next thing you know, you're hanging from a tree. You're hanging from a tree. It says, among the bushes they brayed, under the nettles they were gathered together. They were children of fools, yea, children of base men. They were viler than the earth. And now am I their song, yea, I am their byword. They abhor me, they flee far from me, and they spare not to spit in my face. And who's that hatred they have for who? The Israelites, you Negroes, you Hispanics, and Native Americans. The hatred they have for you is on a whole nother level, right? You see, they'll deal with the heathen nations. They done gave the heathen nations pass to do business. They done cut you Israelites clear the fuck off. It goes back to that perpetual hatred. That perpetual hatred, and that Genesis 27 and 41, it says, and Esau hated Jacob because of the blessings wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father at hand, then will I slay my brother Jacob. And that's what they're getting ready for, that race war where they could finish what they have started.
After washing out his special forces, he was really angry, and we see at that moment his deepening involvement in radical white power activity, ranging from McVeigh's connection to the Michigan militia.
The federal government itself is the child of the armed citizen. We, the people, are the parent of the child we call government. In short, the federal government needs a good spanking to make it behave.
His contact and attempted contact with groups like the Arizona Patriots and the National Alliance, and his written belief in white power principles that were published in his hometown newspaper.
McVeigh used his military training to help carry out the Oklahoma City bombing. And in a letter to a friend, he invoked his military oath to justify it. I have sworn to uphold and defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic, and I will. Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic, and I will. Blood will flow in the streets. Good versus evil. Free men versus socialist wannabe slaves. Pray it's not your blood, my friend.
The other key component here was his use of the Turner Diaries.
At gun shows, Timothy McVeigh would hand out copies of the Turner Diaries, a dystopian novel that details how to topple the U.S. government. The fictional revolutionaries start by blowing up a federal building and then proceed to exterminate their political enemies, including all Jews, blacks, and Latinos.
The Turner Diaries became enormously
Blowing up a federal building and then proceed to exterminate their political enemies, including all Jews, blacks, and Latinos, of preserving their evangelical Christian way of life.
Jesus needed a weapon. That's why we believe in the Second Amendment, all right?
The Second Amendment protects the American citizens' right to bear arms. For these rednecks, it is fundamental to their constitutional freedom.
It goes down. I've got something to protect myself, my family, my friends around me.
And there you go. These devils are done. It's a wrap for them. No more. No more. It's a wrap. Look at him. Look at him.
It goes down. I've got something to protect myself, my family, my friends around me.
Yep. There you go. There you go. That's the devil for you. That's right. Crazy, psychotic, no good. Wicked, evil. Where we at? Genesis 27 and 35. Now we're on 34. And when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with a great and exceedingly bitter cry, and said unto his father, bless me, even me also, O my father. And he said, thy brother came with subtlety, and have taken away thy blessing. That's right. You ain't got no blessing, devil. You're done. You can cry all you want. We don't give a damn. Where we at? Deuteronomy 30 and 7. And they brayed by the bushes. Ow! That's the devil for you. Deuteronomy 30 and 7. And the Lord thy power will put all these curses upon thy enemies. Oh, yeah. And all nations chased you up in the mountains, devil, because they know you are the devil. That's right. and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee. All the nations said, oh, hold up. We got a problem too. This damn devil. That's right. So it's a wrap for you, devil. Wall, a ball, ba ball.